Feel the two together.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. None of them are going to grade very high. That's not real.
I know.
It's not real.
Seriously?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I never would have expected that.
I actually really wanted to do a deal.
1, 2, 3, 4.
How come I'm always the navigator? This is my town. You're in my hometown.
Lunch dates and coffee breaks, Tuesdays and random days. It's how we spend the worst.
Okay, what do we got here?
That is the Facebook Marketplace posting. That's all the pictures we have to go on. Tell me what you noticed kind of first thing out of the gate there.
Well, there's some cool cards, some stuff that's actually kind of hard to find.
Like what?
The Home Run Derby cards are
59.
very cool. 59. Reggie rookie.
Blue Alcindor Sweet, but
That looks trimmed.
I think you're gonna see a pattern with a few of those cards.
I mean, none of them are in great shape. The Williams looks trimmed.
Him and his dad's cards collected as a kid and then kind of got out of the hobby. Is a big like anti-grader, so he never submitted these. Whenever I hear that, where does your mind go?
Spidey senses just start going.
Yeah, I think, okay, so you know they're trimmed, you don't want to send them in, or you have sent them in. Not making assumptions, but that always worries me.
You don't have much to trust in. You're scared to love again. I don't wanna miss a blessing. In Carolina.
Just to give you a heads up, the person we're going to visit today, Edward, prefers not to have his face on camera. So you're just gonna have to settle with looking at Mike and me.
Here we go.
How you doing?
Hey,
Good.
I'm Ty.
Edward, nice to meet
Good to
you.
meet you.
Mike,
Nice to meet you.
nice to meet you.
Cool, man. So this is it. These are the cards, huh?
Yeah.
Thanks for setting it up for us.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you got them all out. That's always the first.
What's the story then? You're moving, so you just
Yeah.
Did you grow up
then-
with these?
Yeah, I accumulated those over, my time as just a kid.
Okay.
And went to a bunch of auctions, card shows, things like that. Had like a collection of maybe 100,000 cards and just took the best ones with me when I moved to Texas, and just been carrying these around for like 15 years since I got to Texas.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, from the pictures you sent, it's vintage to even, somewhat modern.
I think it stops at around like maybe 93 or
Yeah.
early 90s.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Nice. Why are you trying to sell? Is it just you're moving, you just want to get rid of them?
Yeah,
Or is
I'm
it-
pretty much selling everything I own to move out of the country. So
Really?
Yeah.
So walking in, I was somewhat surprised because it just seemed like a lot more cards than we were expecting. It seemed like we were going to walk in and maybe see 40 to 50 cards with a small box. But there was a lot of cards there, and it was a lot of vintage, a lot of late 70s, early 80s stuff that was mostly big names, mostly recognizable names. So positively surprised in the first 5 minutes.
So did you put these in these nice lucite screw downs?
Some of them I did, some of them I got like that. Like a few of those I got at auction and just have been in the cases.
Did you bring a screwdriver? Do you have a
I did.
Phillips head? Okay.
I did.
We're gonna need one. I cannot believe I forgot a screwdriver. But why would I need one? No one uses screw downs anymore.
So you mentioned auctions. Be more specific. What were you doing back then?
So my parents liked antiques and stuff, so I'd go to auctions with them, and sometimes they'd have like old cards and stuff. So
Oh, okay. Huh.
my dad and I would buy them together.
Really?
Yeah.
My dad never bought me cards. How about yours?
Yeah, my dad did.
Oh,
Yeah, my dad did. You like Nolan Ryan, don't you?
I do. We need a flathead too. These are so old, they're flathead.
This is what we have to deal with. He gets so anxious. Like, we got to unscrew it immediately. Just be patient. Set him aside.
Dang it.
We run into Nolan Ryan autos nearly every collection. Do you have one in your collection? Click the like button one time if you do. Click the like button 3 times if you don't.
These were cards done for a television show called Home Run Derby. It would pit 2 guys against each other every week. And it was usually done in the winter, and really cool show. Mickey Mantle was on it, and Willie Mays was on it, and Hank Aaron was on it. All the stars of the day
Sure.
were on it.
We bring you Home Run Derby.
Mantle trailing by 3 runs going into the bottom half of the second inning. Well, Willie, you didn't quite repeat your first inning, did you?
That's right, Bob.
Pretty tough to follow 4 home runs in 1 inning.
Well, I got a few more swings coming.
Well, let's see what Mickey Mantle can do now.
These were giveaways. These cards were giveaways. That's why not a lot of them survived, because they were just given away at different card dealerships around regional areas. These are really cool.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Very, very cool. I mean, they're really cool.
We get it, Mike. They're cool.
They're pretty cool. As soon as we sat down, the first things I gravitated towards were those home run derby cards. They're pretty rare. I wanted to see quickly, could I ascertain were they real? Certainly they look trimmed. I mean, you could tell almost immediately. I've seen enough of them before to know that if you don't have a nice border around it, something's wrong. But I did turn it over, was able to see the stamp on the back from the American Car Company, which is kind of cool to see that. Like, okay, I think these are real. I just know they're cut. When I saw these, I instantly thought that they had been cut down.
Okay.
Because they typically, and I just want to show you an actual Frank Robinson so you can see how much wider the borders are typically.
Yeah.
But you can even see on this one, like, but see, that makes me think that's not to size.
Okay.
Right, that should be wider borders all the way around.
Same for that other one too?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, same for the Hodges.
I wonder if that came at the same auction as the Kareem, because I know the Kareem is trimmed. I'll take your word for it on the home run derby.
Yeah, I'm gonna look up Duke Snyder as well. Yeah, these were from 1959. And the show only ran for, I think, 1 season.
Oh.
But I watched it all growing up, watching these guys hit, like, oh my gosh, you're just seeing them.
Yeah, that must have been cool.
Okay, so let's do the math here real quick. Let's say that show aired in the 60s. I'm starting to do the math on his age, and I didn't realize how old Mike might be. The guy might be 70.
How old are you?
Interview. So anyway, when dinosaurs roamed the earth and I used to go looking for sports cars. Yeah, tell me about this. Lou Gehrig's my favorite player of all time. So when I saw that in the pictures, I was like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that was another auction item, and you know, I don't know who wrote Only 6 created, but wasn't me.
You didn't write Only 6?
Like if I'd have wrote it, it would have been only one created.
After kind of a couple of times through the cards, nothing in there is, you know, super minty. We got a lot of cards that have seen some age. They have some age to them for sure. And none of them are gonna grade really high, but that doesn't mean they're not valuable. That doesn't mean they're not awesome. It's just, none of them are gonna grade very high.
Are you looking to sell all of them?
Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely open because I'm kind of just cleansing and getting rid of pretty much everything. Like, might leave some stuff at my in-laws' house, but like I'm going to Mexico with like some carry-on luggage and mailing a couple boxes, and that's it.
Yeah, sports cars aren't real hot in Mexico, I'm guessing.
I don't know. Never know.
Okay, we all know Marcel is one of the most loved characters on the show. But did you also know he has one of the most loved online shops in the marketplace? Yes, theawesomecardshop.com is an amazing place to go buy sealed wax, crazy singles, and some outstanding memorabilia. And a lot of that stuff came from the show. If you click the link in the show notes, you're gonna get a 5% discount off the already cheap prices. And if you do it right now, Marcel and team's probably gonna toss something extra in there as well. Just don't tell him I said that. Go click the link in the show notes right now. See ya.
He's got a lot of different stuff, very interesting stuff. The first thing is get these to where we can actually look at them, feel them, touch them, smell them, all the things we need to do to ascertain are these real or not. And then he said he had them forever. And so yeah, I'm excited to start digging in and really getting our feet wet.
We're gonna re-sleeve these for you.
So this isn't a T206 right here.
What is that bad boy?
That's a T205. I mean, not T205, it's a T204. That's not real.
I know.
It's not real.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I can tell you right now.
Yeah, the plastic, slippery feeling to them.
Instant I touched it, it's not real.
You can tell by the text on the bottom too.
Yeah, dang it. Believe it or not, these were faked as early as the 70s. So he's got some T206's in there and they look really interesting, but the problem with T206's is even back as early as the 1970s, they were faking T206 cards. And so we really need to look at these and inspect them and see if they're legit.
That's interesting. I never would have expected that.
Not real.
Yeah.
Same deal.
I know.
Dang it.
I'm glad I didn't try to sell these on eBay. Because I totally thought they were real, and
Where's that Addy Joss? I want to know this one, because this one might be real.
Almost immediately, my eyes gravitated towards the T206's, and it just, I mean, surface level view, it seemed like they were fake, almost too good to be true. I was already concerned they were kind of doubled up in the top loader, and then just looking at the text and seeing the gloss from the angle, just felt from the get-go that those were going to be fake. So once we pulled them out and started realizing they were fake, it immediately makes me think other cards in that lot might be fake as well.
There's just a lot of cool vintage. I was just saying, there's a 49, there's 50 Bowman, and then there were mid 80s, and then we're looking at hockey. I mean, you have everything. So you said when you consolidated 100,000 into the best of the best.
yeah.
Was that just because you knew sports well enough, or was it cards you?
Yeah, I mean, just going off of like my memory from when I was collecting as a kid, you know.
I dig it. So every single one of these cards is one that you got when you were younger.
Yeah, like I stopped collecting, I think probably like 92 or something like that. And, you know, I still continued going to auctions with like my dad, and, you know, we'd just buy some older cards here and there.
Yeah.
So that's where a lot of these came from.
It's been really great to meet this guy because he has some great memories from his childhood, collecting cards with his dad, going to auctions and buying stuff with his dad. You always like to see those connections because it makes it real and it actually gives the story of where these cards came from a lot more legitimacy. So I'm freeing this card.
Free me!
From a old screw down that's even has flathead screws, not even. And we don't have a flathead screwdriver.
Okay, so this obviously would have gone a lot faster if I had just brought my Ryobi drill set.
So we're just pulling these out. We're gonna re-sleeve them and top load them for them. It seems like they're all fake, but we're just gonna check them for them and see if we can find one that's not.
So if you ever find yourself in an auction setting and you're buying cards, an estate auction, something like that, and you see cards in those screw downs, stop. Red flag right there. You need to take the cards, be able to look at them. If you can't look at them, take them out of there and kind of really look at them closely. Beware.
Oh, bummer.
Darn.
Fake. It's fake.
Can you feel how just insanely smooth the front is?
Yeah.
So they'll print cards to try to make them look aged. They'll use light tea. They'll literally rub iced tea, give the cards patina, right? Fake patina. I'm really only worried about. Let me see that Vera. Let's see. Let's test. Oh. Okay, you got some. I bet you had that in a screw down at one point, didn't you? Or somebody might have.
I don't. If I got in the screw down, I probably would have kept it that way.
What's your opinion on that
I
one?
think it's real.
It just there's a smell to vintage that is hard to describe.
Yeah, if you smell it, it smells like it's old.
This is why you have to be super careful when you're buying through sites like Craigslist and Facebook. Vintage cards are nuanced, and if you don't have an expert with you, you can get stuck in buying fake cards and you negotiate a price and you just get in a weird situation. Having an expert like Mike is super valuable. Being able to smell and touch and watch him do whatever he does with his cards, it's nice to have. Be really careful. That's why you buy graded cards. Go check out our store. We have a lot of graded vintage.
Stay tuned until the end for a sneak peek at our next episode.
All right, feel the two together.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, way thicker, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I think this one was in a screw down. Literally that cardboard over time, if it sits in one of those screw downs for 20 years, you smell that almost grandma-like smell?
Yeah. So do you think this one's real?
I do. I think they're both real.
Yeah.
I think that one was in a screw down for eons. And
Sure.
Decades.
Yes. That actually makes it, the grading companies have a hard time with that because sometimes they'll just grade it authentic only.
Yeah.
Like, yes, it's real, but we're not going to assign a numerical grade because essentially the card's been pressed. Not intentionally, that wasn't your goal of putting a card in a screw down like this or anybody's. It was to protect it. Back in the day, this is all we had.
Yeah.
Were these little screw downs, right? So this was the coolest thing you could have your card in. I mean, if I had a card in one of these, it meant it was a great card.
Yeah.
And now we've just learned that, yeah, those weren't so great for cards, actually. There's collectors for every edge of the spectrum of the hobby, from super great high grade cards to all the way down to SGC ones. People will buy that because it's Roberto Clemente or Willie Mays or Hank Aaron. The name and the card year and the rarity of it is what sells the card. Yeah,
Does it feel flat?
It does feel a little, that didn't feel as thick as a normal vintage card to you, does it?
It's paper. I mean, so thin. If you feel that,
Like, let me
it
pull.
almost feels fake. It's so pressed.
Let me see if I can be able to tell. Yeah, so if you hold these two together, it's subtle, but you can tell the thinness of a regular, because the card stock is the same over the decades. They didn't change it.
Sure.
They didn't make 1 year, oh, it's a little bit thicker. Still real. I'm not worried about that. This looks really good. The centering on this is decent. This Nolan Ryan, Jerry Kuzman rookie is notoriously off center.
Yeah.
But they'll most likely just grade it authentic.
I'm not a huge fan of the whole card grading racket.
Why is that?
I don't know, it just kind of seemed like it was manufactured scarcity, like they have their inventories, and meanwhile, like there's who knows how many cards people don't want to send in for grading because of shipping damage and you know, the turnaround time and the cost.
You know, like there's value in authenticating.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely see that part of it.
I actually grade cards, yes, because I want to know that if I'm buying a 58 Topps All-Star Ted Williams, I want it to be an authentic card.
Yeah.
And it took me a long time to gain the experience that I have of being able to identify stuff pretty quickly. I could have gotten duped. I could still get duped.
Yeah.
And so the grading company is at least another set of eyes. And it puts it in a holder that protects the card instead of continues to damage the card like these are.
Yeah.
So you get protection. Yes, the numerical grade, it's someone's opinion on a day. Are they in a good mood? Are they in a bad mood?
Yep.
I get that.
So I think Mike's enjoying this. I love seeing Mike dig into vintage. It's just satisfying to me. At the same time, I can sense that he's probably underwhelmed right now based on what we saw in pictures to here. We had an idea in mind with the numbers, and I think it's gonna be a lot lower than we both thought. So we're interested in buying it all. Okay, so we came into this collection thinking probably between 2,000 and 2,500 for everything. There's a little bit more than we thought, more quantity, maybe not a ton more quality. With the T206's being fake, I think we're probably gonna be somewhere around 1,200 to 1,500 on the high end to just buy everything. It won't be something super lucrative, but it would help him out, and it's stuff that we know will move in our store.
Okay.
Condition is a big deal here in these. The T206 is not being real, which we kind of assumed in the photo. You always assume that until you see him.
Okay.
But there's some other really cool stuff here. Like I really like the uniqueness of this. This is extremely unique. But the Home Run Derby cards are super cool. So we would be interested in buying it all, but knowing what you've already been offered, I don't know if you're going to even be interested in it.
Okay.
My cash offer for all of it would be $1,200.
Yeah, that's a little bit lower than, you know, what I've been getting from other people.
What I'm afraid though is people are going to show up and they're going to see it. And they're going to maybe offer you the same or maybe a bit higher, but yeah, I know what this stuff sells for because I deal with it every day.
Sure.
And this stuff is like, this is going to be dollar box stuff. This stuff, some of the stuff I'll grade, but I know that most of it's going to come back authentic R1.
Okay.
But I'm guessing, is that too low for you?
Yeah, that is a little too low.
Okay, what were you hoping to get for it?
I mean, I've had people saying like 3,500, and like that would be something that would be interesting. But like,
Gotcha.
I feel like we're probably too far apart.
Yeah, we definitely wouldn't be close on 35. Yeah, is there anything?
I think you're spot on. I wish there was 3,500 in value here. I really do.
Sure.
Yeah, there's just not. There's just not.
But if you can sell for that, that's good.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you can find someone that wants to do that for you, then great. Would you sell just these by themselves?
For how much?
I'd do 100 a piece on them. I'm telling you, they're trimmed as all get. I mean, they're.
Yeah.
I just think they're cool, and I watched the show as a kid.
I'll do 125 a piece on them.
Huh?
I'd do 125 a piece on them.
What? Sure. I think what draws us to a raw collection is just the idea of the unknown. I mean, it's always fun to go, okay, we can tell these cards aren't in great shape, but it's still new to the hobby, right? If we can get these back out there to other collectors, so much fun for us to get to see them. I mean, these cards have probably been, squirreled away for decades, and we're the first ones to kind of get to see them and maybe bring them out into the wild. Why don't you, I tell you what, you keep all of it, okay? If you get closer to June and Ty's offer is, I can come over and get if you get to where we're moving and people have come over and looked and if you've got 3,500, yay.
Yeah.
If for whatever reason all those fall through, our offer's on the table.
Okay.
Till you move. And I just wanted these because I like them.
Yeah. All right.
But just overall, just that's kind of where we're at. So.
Sure. Yeah.
But if you don't get a better offer and you want me to run over and get them, I can.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thank you, man, for hosting it.
Yeah. Thanks for
Seriously.
coming by.
Really kind of a bummer that we couldn't end up making a deal today.
It was a bummer. I mean, we both went into this thinking that we could actually get this deal done because it had a lot of things that we both liked.
Yeah, there were definitely some unique things that we just don't see every day. And then there's a bunch of stuff we do see every day. And it just wasn't worth what he was wanting to get out of it. And I think you made a very good decision to walk away.
Really?
I do.
Well, it's a business decision when it's not going into the collection. And none of that, outside of maybe the Home Run Derby cards, were not going into the collection. And so we have to look at this very objectively. And that was the fairest offer we could make.
You have, if you get caught up in the emotion of it, you will end up costing yourself money. And luckily we were both on the same page. So that really helped in terms of value that we saw there and what we thought we could get out of it. So we both couldn't get there, walk away.
It's good experience. Edward's in a position I think a lot of people are in, don't know what to do. Let's throw it on Facebook, let's throw it on Craigslist. And he's dealing with the hundreds of people reaching out, and it's annoying and it's frustrating.
I bet it is, totally.
So hopefully we helped him a little bit tonight.
I think we did. I did anyway. You not so much.
It was good having you tonight, though.
Yeah, it was fun.
Too bad you can't go to Tennessee with us.
I know, y'all are gonna have a great time. I'm excited. Hopefully you'll at least bring me in on some of the older stuff so I can at least live vicariously through you guys.
Side note, I didn't realize how old you were. Mentioning that you watched the Home Run Derby when it was on back in the 40s. Pretty impressive.
Not the 40s.
A lot of good nuggets and reminders in our time with Edward. There are a lot of fake cards out there, and if you're not educated on how to identify them, you might have headaches in your collection. So buy with caution and be smart. It's also good to get to know the seller to make sure they know exactly what they are actually selling. And if you have a nose like Mike's, well, I'm sorry, but at least you'll never get duped.
I wanna go somewhere far away.
On our next journey, buckle up and come along as we travel to see a large modern and vintage collection hidden in the hills of Tennessee.
I think I'm sitting around $55,000 to $60,000 realistically.
I'm concerned that my offer's not going to be good enough, and it needs to be. I'm going to have to come up with some more money on this, I think.
Well, that's a good problem to have, right?
See you next time. Keep chasing.
Broken memories, this new road.